Everyone, hello and welcome to the YouTube live session. And this live session is about the master strategy for CS exam. And today we have a very special guest, CSN Jayanti ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank ma'am. Ma'am, thank you for sparing your time to handle this live session.
It's my pleasure.
So before we go ahead, we should all understand a little background about Jayanti ma'am. If you have watched our World of Company Secretaries, in fact, we had requested ma'am and her daughter, who is also a company secretary. Both of them were on our show where they shared their entire journey from the time they started CS and what they're doing now and the great position which they are in now. Jayanti ma'am has more than 3 decades experience, and the best part is it is not just in the corporate world. It is in the academics, with colleges, with the corporate world. She's a director on the board of a few companies, and most importantly, with very high energy and passionate to help students. So this is what makes this session very interesting and exciting for us and for all the students. All the experience of ma'am will be distilled and shared with you today. Ma'am, first question before we even go ahead with some of the student questions. First, we'll ask a few questions from our side. The CS syllabus is very vast. So often when we talk to students, this is the biggest challenge. So how do you think students should approach such a vast syllabus with thousands of pages of material to study?
First of all, for all the students who are watching this YouTube video, I am congratulating them for selecting commerce discipline as their career path, and double congrats for choosing CS course, which is one of the prestigious course in the commerce discipline. Now coming to Mr. Alok's question. See, what I can say is, we are not jumping over a rock which is coming across our way, or we are not walking on a vacation hill, small hill, cool hill for spending our time. We have attempted ourselves to conquer a tall peak in Himalayas. So when we are to that, we have to undergo some rigorous measures, effective measures, and we have to undertake all of this with a passionate and enthusiastic way. This being a premier institute which is offering you some exclusive positions, some prestigious positions, some special identity in the job world. So you need to undergo all those things. You should not be thinking about the vast syllabus which have been given by the institute. Because before framing the syllabus, so many learned persons have put their thoughtful process on that, and they think that the candidate who is coming out of the coming out of the exam and who is going to join the fraternity of the beautiful institute, they should have certain basic knowledge. This basic knowledge only is insisted upon by the syllabus. So you need not see the tasks which are taken by the other professionals like IPS, IAS and all. Before that, we are nothing. Our syllabus is nothing. Our syllabus is always conquerable. Of course, you have to adopt certain measures. When you come to, because Mr. Alok has mentioned about thousands of pages, I'm telling you it is a simple calculation. Find out, assess whatever is your available time for studying, assess the volume which you have to cover. From your available time, keep 30% for 3 revisions away, and balance of 70%, you divide the volume of work by that 70%, and this you have to do every day. What I am telling you is the hard part is not studying. The hard part is not skipping the study any day. This may be a cumbersome process until you cross the exams. But still, cooking may be cumbersome, but eating will be awesome, isn't it? Like that only, preparation may be difficult, but if you have a proper schedule of studying, and if you are passionate enough to study and enthusiastic enough to study, then you have chosen this as your career path. Then what else is there instead of preparing? You have to do that. But I tell you, because I have trained many students, because I have also crossed that line. I'm telling you, it is not difficult once you have made up your mind.
Great, ma'am. So I think that is a very important message for everyone who is watching it. It is not difficult once we have made up our mind. Very well said by Jayanti, ma'am. Ma'am, next question is about law papers. Because when we look at company secretary course, we have one set of students who are coming from law background, which is actually a minimal number. Majority students come from BCom or commerce degree background. And what do you feel are the basics that students should focus on law subjects because they find this subject very challenging?
Again, I'm telling you, anything is not challenging when you are enthusiastic. See, this is part of our curriculum. You have to go through it. And especially for CS, law is the basic thing which is going to be applied to your entire life in any aspect or the other. In every aspect, I can say. So, sitting and studying is the only mantra. Understand the concept in its letter and spirit. Right? It's not a shallow reading. It should be a deep reading. And if at all you want any help, you can take the help. So nowadays students are booned with so much of outsourcing help. They can take it, and again, sitting and studying is the only thing. Without studying, nothing can go into your head. And no, even if somebody are teaching also, you have to absorb it so that you have to sit and study. That is the only thing.
Okay,
Understand
great.
the principles.
Sit and study, that is the main thing. Ma'am, going forward, this is another very common question students have been asking us. They say that I can understand the concept, I can even speak it when some friend asks me, but when it comes to writing, I'm not able to articulate. So how do you feel students should approach this problem? How can they get into good articulation, especially in written communication?
Yeah. First point is, once you understand the concept, articulation problem becomes very small. Understand the concept, then articulation becomes easy. If you are not able to articulate, there may be two reasons. One reason is you are deficient in language skills, or else the other one is, even if you are strong in your language vocabulary thing, you may be not strong in writing. That is, you may not be getting that catching up that vocabulary or catching up that imagination how to write it. So for this, there is only one solution. Every day in your timetable of studying, keep some time for writing out what you have studied in black and white, in the material or anything else, or while browsing, or from your mentor, whatever you have received. Keep a practice of writing until you get over this. Right? Then after writing whatever you have observed, you compare it with the black and white print in front of you. Then you will understand where you are lacking, where you are slogging, where you are stuck up, and all those things you will understand. This may be, looking like a cumbersome process. But what happens, this will be acting as an antibiotic process also. Once the course of time has been taken, once a course is taken, this will act as the immunity thing, and later on you can stop this. But initially, to come over the problem, you have to write.
Yes, so writing is essential, and I guess our students after this will at least start writing some of the answers.
Yes.
Another thing, ma'am, as we discuss ahead, students feel that we don't know what is ICSI testing. What should I write in the answer sheet? What exactly are they testing? What is ICSI expecting? What do you feel, ma'am?
See, on a lighter note, the answer is the institute expects only the correct answer.
Correct.
This is on a lighter note. But with my humble experience over a period of 3 decades, what I found is no institution or no examiner is having the intention of penalizing the student for not writing the 100% correct answer. What they are searching for is something logical, something reasoning, something which is relevant to the question. when you are coming to this professional course, please, I request the students or candidates to leave off their academic mentality behind and adapt the professional mentality. So far you might have used to get marks by writing pages and pages. We are not expecting, I mean, we in the sense, the institute is not expecting any pages and pages of answers. They want the nutshell answer only if it is correct. And one more thing, they are not expecting the answer to be matching in verbatim with the material they are giving or the bare act definition and all.
Yeah.
They are checking that whether you have understood the concept. Even if verbatim is not matching with the real definition, if your answer is logic and relevant, marks are given. If in solution oriented problems, I mean practical problems also, what they are doing in the sense, if your description of your provision is correct and somehow your answer went wrong, they are giving marks for the provision. In some cases, the provision may not be written or wrongly written, but the answer is correct. Somehow the student has given the right answer. For that also marks are considered. Sometimes the answer may be partly correct or partly wrong. Then also marks are considered. What I mean to say is, institute is not attempting to penalize the students. They are expecting, because this is a very premier institution and very prestigious institution, it has to keep its sanctity. It is expecting something logical and relevant from the answer, relevant to that person. That's all.
Okay, so I guess students who are watching this, the message is very clear. You should know the concepts very well and
Yes.
answer with the logic. Like ma'am said, they're not expecting verbatim what is there in your book or bare act, but they should understand that you have understood the concept. Ma'am, going ahead with law papers, this is another thing which I want to ask, because again, lot of students tell us that we are from BCom background, but LLB background students can study law easily. I'm from BCom background. What should I do? So what do you feel are the basic principles that students from BCom background should do to understand law in the right way?
First thing, don't compare yourself with a law student or any other student. This is your curriculum. You have to go through it. For the law student, it may be, the accounting parts may be very difficult. Understanding the accounts, income tax, and all those things may be very difficult. See, I am a science student. I came from a science background. Still, no, for me, everything was a problem that time. So, what to do? We have chosen it with lots of thoughts. So, we have to undergo that. Only thing is, because the BCom students are not giving importance during their academic course for theory subjects, they are thinking bad. But now you understand, you have to understand that whatever you study in theory only you are going to apply in later stages. Accounting is going to be secondary for your career, and primary thing is law. So sit and study. Once you have studied, you can understand that more than accounting, law is easy. You can easily tackle that. You can easily write that once you understand the concept. Sitting and studying again, and taking out the block in the mind for reading theory papers. Theory papers are very, very important. So you have to read it.
Okay, okay. So, ma'am, another will stress again with law. This is one question about bare act. Students know that bare acts is important, and studying a subject like Companies Act of 2013 from the bare act is necessary. But they say, how do we do it? Do we really need the bare act? These are some of the questions they're asking. From your experience, what would you like to share to them?
See, in executive program, the entire Companies Act is not covered. Only part of the Companies Act is covered.
Yes.
Whenever, as I said, when you are scheduling your timetable, in that timetable of every day, you may be covering 5 sections or 10 sections, something like that. Once you cover that sections given in your material, what is the problem in going through the bare act? It will be again acting as a double dose, or it will be acting as a revision also. And if you have not gone through the bare act, always you will be having a pricking in mind that I have not gone through this one. So that will be a lacuna remaining in your mind. So just have the bare act with you, or download the bare act and study through it. And one more thing is not only the bare act with rules, because rules gives the broader knowledge to the people who are studying the section. So go through it, like you need not by heart it, you need not reproduce it, or even you need not remember the intricacies. But our going through is no, that will not be a hindrance. You can always, if you have time, you can always go through it. It will be no working like a revision.
Okay. So next, ma'am, we would like to.
Along with the bare act, I advise the students to go through the guideline answers. They are very, very important. That will say, though the same person is not repeated from that particular chapter, if the guideline answers are covering 5 chapters and in 5 persons are there in each 5 chapters, students will understand what is the modality of questions asked by the institute and what are all their expectations for that person.
Okay. I think we got a good picture. Now moving on to practical papers like corporate and management accounting, financial management. Students have a few questions, and what should be the strategy to study? Now, one very common question is about the CS executive program. We have CMA and financial management, but these papers are multiple choice questions, 1 mark questions. So students always feel, let me just go through a few old papers and let me prepare for this. But they don't tend to focus on the concepts. Why are concepts so important in CMA and subject like financial management?
See, these two subjects, two things are necessary for understanding the concept. The first thing is, without understanding the concept, multiple choice questions cannot be answered. It is not inky pinky ponky. This is a professional course. Unless you understand the concepts, you cannot answer the multiple choice questions. For example, I'm telling you, all the students who are watching this, they will be knowing about the marginal costing. There, sales minus variable, I'm taking a very small example of only one line. Sales minus variable cost is equal to contribution. Then this is a simple formula which you have followed, because I was the teacher in PG courses and UG courses. I'm telling you, this is the concept taken bluntly by the students without understanding the concept. They know that sales minus variable cost is equal to contribution. But as a professional student, you should understand the intricacies of sales. In some organizations, sales are termed as revenues. In some organizations, sales are termed as income. And again, when you are coming for income part of it, the company may be, or the industry may be having many types of income. You should know, for calculating this contribution, what kind of income should be taken as income. And variable cost also. In variable cost also, there are fixed, semi-variable cost and variable cost. You should understand what is a variable cost, how it is related to your income, and what is semi-variable, whether this should be taken into account or not. Why I am not saying all this thing is, the professional course multiple choice question will confuse you with lots of information. They want to understand whether you really understood the concept or not. So in the professional course, for multiple choice questions, you have to understand the concept. That is one thing. The second thing is, in descriptive questions, at least you will get the step marks even if your answer is wrong. But in multiple choice questions, there is no such grounds. Once your answer is wrong, you will lose the total marks. How to go about? First and foremost step is, whenever any chapter is given in your book, first go through the theory part. Don't attempt the problems in the first instance. Go through the theory part, understand the concept. Second thing, do lots of big problems, because descriptive problems, I mean. Once you do the descriptive problems, that descriptive problem will be containing so many concepts which will be useful in your multiple choice questions. And you people nowadays are very much bound to have this internet and download whatever be the multiple choice questions available in that. And at the end of every chapter, in every other materials other than the material given by the institute also, like for financial management, S.N. Mageshwari and all there, in which at the end of each chapter, multiple choice questions have been given. Lots of multiple choice questions have been given. I think in my place it was available that time. The multiple choice questions themselves have been framed. 100 multiple choice questions in each subject. They are selling the books. That if that is available, you can take it. In MBA course of FMA and this management accounting or cost accounting and all, lots and lots of multiple questions are given for each chapter that they can go through. And again, guideline answers are there. That also they can go through. Only you should be on the lookout for your studies. That's it.
Ma'am, you have given us a good idea of why concepts are important, and you also told us how you can understand the concepts. But in general, like if somebody is completely new, what would you advise them about the overall strategy for getting prepared for subjects like CMA and FM?
Again, that is what once do in whatever you do with the confidence and go for proper mentors, right? Proper teachers who can give you the concepts, who will not know putting anything in your mind. They will not open your mind and put it, but they will make your mind open so that you yourself can absorb everything, and they should be teaching you why you are doing this, and they should be in a position to clarify all your doubts and all those things. That is the proper guidance you need for this, especially the people who cannot work for themselves. They need proper training in practical subjects. Even in law, what I am saying is, for interpretation of law, you may be reading it, but as you said, the articulation may not be coming. Writing articulation or thinking articulation, that can be given by proper guidance. You have to go for a proper guidance. Then only you will be coming out.
Okay. I think all your tips have been very useful. Now, it all boils down to the 3 hours of the exam, whether it is multiple choice question exam, whether it is a descriptive exam, which we have for law, it all boils down to 3 hours.
Yes.
And many students panic in these 3 hours. So how do you think students should approach it, especially in the angle of time management for these 3 hours of the exam?
Yes. Again, I am telling you, students, this 3 hours has been fixed after a very thoughtful brainstorming only, right? And definitely the examiners or the institution, they think that you will be in a position to finish off the question paper within that 3 hours. Not only 3 hours, the buffer time is also there in 3 hours when they are framing. For your part, what is your responsibility is, anyhow you will be going through the question paper in total before you start the writing. Start writing your answers. What my request or my advice for you is, just attempt the problems or questions for which you are confident of giving a very good answer. That is, already the answer is organized in your mind for such questions, so that you can attempt them. This gives you 2 things. You will be gaining so much of marks over that in the initial time itself. And the second one is, it will be giving you some sort of confidence that I have attempted so many questions already. And while after going through the question paper, you should not be keeping on the rounding your mind for the question for which you have to organize the answer yet. You said you need not think about it when you are writing the answer for the good questions. After writing the good questions, you just allot the time for the ones you have to organize. Then it will be okay, I think. You will be coming out with at least good marks.
Okay. Ma'am, actually, we have one live question here. One Mr. Sanjeev Kumar is asking, Madam, is it possible to complete doing CS along with doing my job? This is a question which we got live just now.
See, for him, I can say, after doing CS, I have taken my job. After that only, I could do my CMA and MBA. So it is only in your mindset. What is the thing is, you should not be getting tired after coming home. You should be mentally very vibrant. You should think that why you have taken CS. If your present job is very much satisfied, why you are taking CS? You want to excel yourself, or you want to develop yourself, improve yourself. So this is a sort of improvement. Once you get practice, every day sit and study after coming from job for 2 hours or 3 hours. Once anything they will say 48 days of mandala. Once you do that for 48 days, and again you cannot come out of that. That will become your practice. You can definitely do. Many people are doing.
Okay. Yes, I think like ma'am shared her own story. After completing CS, she was working, and along with her job, she has not only completed CMA course but also MBA. So, like she has told, it's all in the mind. The determination will make you go ahead. Ma'am, we have another live question from Sarfraz Khan. Ma'am, please guide us for what are the skills required for getting a good job after completing company secretary course.
After completing company secretaryship, first join wherever you are getting an opportunity. And my advice is, though our job is structured in some way, don't deny any other jobs which are coming across your table. Because nowadays, multidisciplinary task is very much needed. And it is also a learning for you. Anything coming across the table, you grab and keep your mind open. You yourself volunteer to the management that I can do this. Please offer me an opportunity. Like that, you can ask and you can learn all the jobs.
Okay, great. Ma'am, we had another question. Very often students lose motivation. It could be in 2-3 circumstances. One is they go write one exam and they feel it didn't go well, and they don't even write the rest of the exams. Or when the exams are close by, they feel they can't clear and they don't even attempt a single exam. What is your message for students with this kind of mindset?
See, the examination scoring pattern itself is defined by the institute, which are very special to this premier institute. Though they are on one side, they are insisting that you have to take the exam in one group. As a group, you have to take the exams. They have kept a single passing marks, that is a benchmark for single paper passing, and benchmark for group passing like consolidated marks, and benchmark for exemption and everything. Right? So what you do is, if you are weak in one paper, just be strong in the other papers where you are confident, so that you will get the consolidated marks. Right? At least if something is failed there also, what I am saying is, you take one paper, go through it properly, get more than 60 or more than 60 in that, get the exemption, so that next time you need not write. In single tranches also, you can take the exams. You need not be demotivated. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, great.
Once entered, don't be demotivated. Right? See,
Yes.
if we are going to the cinema hall, we very much like that movie, so only we are going. If the line is very big, are we coming back? No. We are standing in the queue and getting the tickets. At least we are trying to get the tickets in black also. So that black ticket means you have to put in lots of strain, more strain. But see the movie, don't miss it.
Exactly. I think each and everything which ma'am shared is very inspiring, and most importantly, the one takeaway for me, which I would like to share to students, is that once you have taken it, give it your 100% in everything which ma'am told, in all the suggestions, whether it is law subjects, whether it is about practical subjects or generally time management. She always stressed about once you have taken it, it is your duty to give your dedication, 100% effort, and if you do that, results will come. And I hope everybody got inspired by this. Ma'am, is there any final words you'd like to share before we close the session?
No, I request the students to become a colleague of me in the institute. That's all.
Great. I think that should inspire everyone who is watching this. So that was the strategy which we heard from CSN Jayanti ma'am, who has an experience of more than 3 decades, both in the corporate world as a company secretary, along with her qualification of being a CMA and MBA, and also the academic experience. Very few people have this unique combination of a rich experience in both academics and the corporate world. And our course, Company Secretary, is a culmination of both the academic and the practical and the corporate world. And I hope this session was very useful for everyone. Once again, we would like to thank Jayanti ma'am for spending time with us. And in this live session, I'm sure many students have got the right strategy to prepare, and most importantly, the right approach and attitude to become a company secretary. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So for everyone who has gone through this, if you have any other comments, let us know in the comment box and subscribe for more such videos. Thank you and have a good night.